As I explained in my opening remarks, we had planned to discontinue the use of masked NRIC numbers within the government, starting with new services and progressively changing out other services as they are updated. For the private sector, we had intended to consult before making any change. We should have made that clear. We should also have made clear what we meant by moving away from using masked NRIC numbers. It does not mean automatically unmasking and using the full NRIC number in all circumstances. In other words, just because we move away from using masked NRIC numbers doesn't mean that we switch everything into the unmasked NRIC number, fully exposing the NRIC number.
How does it make sense for the everyday person? Like, why must there be a difference in terms of how NRICs are used and verified across both?
I also can understand that question, but there is a good reason why there cannot necessarily be an identical match between government users and private sector users. The government's users very often concern benefits that are provided to citizens. So in the example that I used earlier, I had talked about in a hospital setting, I talked about medication and medical procedures. But for government, if there are two tanakaus and they have different circumstances, and our policies are designed to help each of them meet different objectives. For example, the provision of grants and subsidies will have to be different depending on the circumstances of tanakau number 1 and tanakau number 2. If we did not have a precise and accurate way of knowing which tanakau we are talking about, then we will also not be very precise and accurate in terms of providing the benefits to them. This is just one layer. But there will be many other instances in schools for the purposes of issuing travel documents, for law enforcement. You don't want to find the wrong person too. So if you are supposed to issue a fine to tanakau number 1 and you ended up issuing a fine to tanakau number 2 because you did not know what their NRIC numbers were and you could not uniquely identify them, then you are in a very difficult situation. But in the private sector, what are the occasions that you really need to have the full NRIC number? Maybe not the same. But we don't want to presume, and that's why the public consultation was going to have to be important. And you need to give time for the public consultation. So,
thank you.